Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to
starting a radio station, no matter how small, is not.
My brother, I know he's your.
So how are you able to?
I wrote proposals. I spoke to people, but it even got to a point that I sent a proposal to someone who got introduced to me by a friend, and the person, after going through the proposal, called me one afternoon and said, "How old are you?" I said, "I will be 60 in a few months." He said, what major health challenge do you have that you are dealing with?" I said, "Major challenge how?" I said, "There's nobody that would be close to 60, especially in Nigeria, having gone through what we have been through in the last 40 years, that will not have one or two things that is." He said, "What do you have? I said, why? Why do you want to know my health?" But I knew what he was driving at. That if you gave me that money, would this man be alive to pay the money back? And I ended the discussion at that point. That, I mean, I know that he was doing that for the safety of his money. Possibly has not done anything broadcasting. He had the money, he has invested in other things, but never in broadcasting. So he was being careful. He wanted to be sure. But why will you start asking me for my health, for my age, for my this? Maybe will you still have the energy to run this thing, even if you listen? No. You know, easy. Now, from friends like you in the industry, how much you get there? Bring her, family, my nephews and my this thing. Okay, how much you get there? Oh yeah, let's put it together. They said, "I will believe in you." And so, let's start with the equipment. What can we bring in? Okay, bring this from Italy. What are you? Okay, let me get this from the US. Let me send to you, and we pull this thing together. Okay.
So on the whole now, like how much have you funneled into the business now? Can you hazard a guess?
As at the last count, maybe about 263 million.
Wow. So what it means is that your people will say, "And it told you how do they say it? To not double into the business." Somebody who is not financially strong should not double into the business.
It's not that. It's not. If you don't know the tricks of the business, if you don't know the tricks, don't go into it. If you don't know the tricks, the 260 million plus that I was talking about, not say the thing that once it dropped. Huh? You just okay, pick this. Okay, that one is secured. That one, do this. Okay, start this, start that, and then you start coupling it. Okay, where it remain? Okay, now here. Okay, so when you look at the journey, I told you the license came about how many years ago? About 2021 September, and this is about the third year. And you can imagine how and the journey and how we have traveled. Okay. And so somebody called me the other day and said, "Okay, I want to maybe a pastor. I know some of our colleagues." He said, "I know that some of our colleagues are already establishing radio stations. I want to establish radio. How much will it cost me to?" Just say, "Do you have 200 million to start with?" Is that kind? You think it's an online?
So, with the benefit of a hindsight,
yeah,
what would you say makes a good radio station? What makes a radio station profitable? How does one run a profitable radio station?
First, you have your overhead must be as lean as possible. Two, don't go for the big gadgets. Be minimal in your thinking, in your orientation, and outlook. Three, work on the content. Four, look for the talent that can drive the content, or maybe you look for the talent that will drive whatever content they are bringing on board. Be careful with the kind of technology you are using. Be careful and where you are importing the technology from, as in the equipment from. be sure that you are bringing them in from people who have been in the industry in broadcasting for years. There are so many equipments from all over the world, but not all of them are durable and can withstand the heat and the pressure of Nigeria. With the way our electricity is, off and on, off and on, you must be very careful the kind of technology you are bringing in and where you are bringing them from. Every other thing is be streetwise. Be streetwise, and don't joke with your network of people that you have. Be friends with the Azu Arinzes of this world. Be friends with Sheye Kennedys of this world. Be friends with the industry players. Don't just think you can just come bam and say, I want to do it. And they say, who are you? And you cannot define yourself. What Jega?
So now, any radio presenter who wants to stand out, what would be your advice to the person?
Well, the first thing is, are you called? It's by calling first and then training. If you're not called, you get there and you just join the crowd. If you're not trained, if you're not well trained, you just be there and then you fizzle out. Do you know that what you are doing now, there are so many other people that are just doing it on TikTok, on this, on that. They will just be chatting back and you sit down and say, oh my shit. And it's the same thing that is going on radio, in radio world. People just go on air because they know how to, they feel they know how to talk, they just come, they just say things, no trading, no nothing. And so, for you to stand out, you must be called. And when you answer the calling, be humble enough to be trained. There's no way you can stand out because there are so many stations now that are struggling for attention. It's not just about noise, just about not about making noise. It's not about your makeup that people, if you wake up and you look so beautiful and you open your mouth and you say nonsense, people will not come back to that station the next day. They will not come back to the station the next day. TV, radio, they will not come back to the station the next day. That one. But you talk there.